What's up everybody, Steve here. We recently had a roundtable meeting in my real estate office and we were talking about new construction, and then literally the next day I came across a video by REALTORS, this guy named Nicholas. He has an awesome channel, a lot of good statistical information. I'm gonna link this video below for you guys so you can check it out. But he talks about basically buyers walking away from home builder contracts. Now there's a lot of talk about basically a huge shortage of homes, basically 3 to 5 million shortage of homes. And I did another video talking about pre-pandemic. Basically, I didn't think that there was necessarily a shortage of homes because when we came into the situation that we're at right now, the government artificially manipulated interest rates to be so low to influence people to go ahead and buy homes that they necessarily cannot afford, thus driving up prices and creating the mess that we have today. Now in his video, he estimates there's about 800,000 homes under construction. Now this doesn't even take in consideration others that are actually in the permitting process. He estimates that roughly 500,000 have actual contracts on these homes with buyers and another 270,000 are on spec. Now spec just means that they've built these homes and they don't have an actual buyer contract lined up. Now he talks about a specific scenario, and this is exactly what we talked about in our real estate office. So he gives the example of a $560,000 home. Now if somebody were to basically go into contract, say 6 months ago, and they were looking at maybe a 3% interest rate, probably even lower, but let's say 3% interest rate, their mortgage would be roughly $3,500. Now at today's rate, where they would probably lock in right now, say 4.8%, and could be higher as well, they're talking about a $4,000 mortgage payment. Now that's a spread of $500, which he's talking about would influence buyers to walk away, because if they were not able to lock their interest rate, then they simply might not be able to afford it. Now a handful of things. There is a caveat to this based on my own experiences as a real estate broker here in Southwest Florida. For one thing, I think that's going to open up inventory for other home buyers that can afford the additional interest payment. So maybe that hike in interest rate priced out that previous buyer, but another buyer that's been waiting on the sidelines might be able to slide in and purchase that property, which could create opportunity if you guys are looking to buy a new construction property. Now the second caveat to that is the large home builders like Pulte and Lennar. What they're doing, in my experience here in Southwest Florida anyway, they're not pre-selling these properties until they have an idea of a closer CO, certificate of occupancy. So I would say that they're roughly about 3 months away from CO, and that's when they go ahead and release the products. And they're releasing them on MLS, and they're actually doing like a bidding system like you would in a traditional sale, where everybody can submit their bid by a certain date and time. And now when they do this, they can go into contract with a legitimate buyer. Many times these large home builders have their own in-house financing, so they kind of have their thumb on the pulse with that as well. And those lenders can actually lock them into a rate, and I think the rate locks are roughly 120 days as well. The same might not be said for the smaller home builders that are not prepared for this. And I did see this in the last real estate crash, where a lot of smaller home builders, you know, a lot of these guys, they had good intention. They wanted to provide inventory for the demand at the time, but they really didn't understand what they were getting themselves into. A lot of them upfronted their own funds to finance these deals, finance the construction process. And I think a lot of these guys are getting overextended, to say the least, and I think we will see some small home builders go out of business. So my advice for you guys, if you guys are in the market to buy new construction, for one thing, be sure that you have a real estate attorney review the contract, the builder contract, because we're seeing a lot of things in these contracts where builders are putting in terminology that allows them to back out for any reason or increase prices exorbitantly. Also, I think it is important that if you guys are putting a deposit down and you guys are going in contract with the builder, that you do have the timeline lined up where you're actually able to lock your rate in, so then you know exactly what rate you have your roughly estimated principal, interest, taxes, insurance payment, so you're comfortable with that. And that rate is going to lock all the way through CO. Because if it doesn't, and the contract that you sign, you might be in a situation where you actually have to forfeit that deposit. So be safe out there, and if you guys want more real estate market updates, be sure you subscribe and check out these next videos next. Thanks for being here.